reach is very similar. This is gonna be fantastic.
The champion Nemkov, the #2 ranked Davis for the title and a spot in the Grand Prix semifinals with the official introductions. Here once again is Michael C. Williams.
Bellator MMA live on Showtime from Mohegan Sun Arena. The time has come for fight number 3 of the light heavyweight World Grand Prix quarterfinals. Tonight's main event, 5-minute rounds for the Bellator Light Heavyweight World Championship. Sanctioned by the Mohegan Tribe Department of Athletic Regulation Chairman James Gessner, President of Sports and Entertainment Tom Cantone, and supervising at Cage Side Director Mike Mazzulli. And now, first introducing the blue corner. At 6'2", weighing in 205 pounds even, the former Bellator World Champion as a professional enters with 22 victories, 5 losses. Fighting out of San Diego, California, by way of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the challenger, Phil, Mr. Wonderful Davis. And across the cage, the champion fights out of the red corner. At 6 foot, weighing in 204.5 pounds. In his first title defense, he stands perfect inside the Bellator cage at 5-0, and overall, as a professional, 13 victories, just 2 defeats. Fighting out of Stariovsko, Russia, he is the defending Bellator Light Heavyweight World Champion, Vadim Neмкov. And the referee, Dan Mergliata.
All right, gentlemen. All right, guys, been through the rules in the locker room. I want you to obey my commands at all times. I want you to protect yourselves at all times. If you want to touch gloves for luck, do it now. Good luck to both of you.
Dan Mergliata set to referee our main event tonight for the Bellator MMA Light Heavyweight Championship in this quarterfinal in the Light Heavyweight World Grand Prix. That is what is at stake. That plus a spot in the semi-finals. Phil Davis riding a 3-fight win streak. The champion, a 7-fight win streak. This is round number 4 between Davis and Nemkov, the champion with red tape around his Grand Prix gloves, and Davis with blue tape. And you alluded to the fact that both Davis and Bader were able to take Nemkov down in their previous meetings. We know that Davis is capable of grinding out wins, but John, we've mentioned this before, he's sometimes his own worst enemy with low offensive output.
Yeah, I really want to see Phil start off just a little bit quicker than he normally does. Push the pace on Vadim. Make him work, make him be a little uncomfortable. Doesn't have to be for the whole round. Just in certain moments, make him have to just have that RPM going a little high.
Calf kick lands for the champion on the lead leg of Davis, and the champion sticks Davis with a jab to the face. Nemkov, trained by the last emperor, the legendary Fyodor Emelianenko. Emelianenko knows about competing in Grand Prix and Pride Fighting Championships as they renew acquaintances here in this, the first of a possible 5 rounds.
Well, one of the things I always say is tough as a champion, you've got the target on your back, you don't have the target on your opponent. Vadim has made it a statement that he wants to finish Phil Davis. Phil has never been finished in a fight. He wants to be the first. Nice right hand by Vadim.
Double jab, trying to blind Davis with the jab before following up with that overhand right. Again, attacking the lower leg, the calf kick. The de rigueur calf kick in MMA.
Well, that is, you know.
Oh, nice right hand by Nemkov.
Off balance by Phil, but the shot definitely landed. He was off balance. That's the kick that I was talking about. The team needs to attack that leg.
Oh, and an exchange again where Nemkov was able to land a right. Nemkov has 7 wins via first-round knockout, while Phil Davis has 3 first-round KO victories as we near the midpoint of our opening round. Nemkov again working the jab.
That's one of the differences right now in Nemkov from 2.5 years ago. Nemkov was very good with his movement before, used his hands, but he didn't have the jab. He didn't work off of the jab the same.
There is Fedor Emelianenko and Nemkov's older brother, who we saw in action earlier tonight on the prelims. 2 minutes remaining here in the first round. Haven't seen a lot of the kicks other than the kick. Well, on cue, they're attacking the calf, but remember, it was a head kick followed by punches that landed Nemkov the championship against Ryan Bader.
It was, but you can see right now as Vadim is moving, he keeps on trying to step off to his left to land that big looping overhand right. So far, Phil has not fallen for it. Just needs to be very careful of where he places his chin as he's coming out.
Final minute here in the opening round. And again, we talk about the low offensive output for Phil Davis. Seeing shades of that again here in the opening round, John.
You know, it's you watch fighters for so long, and they're so good. And we've had, you know, other fighters. Benson Henderson is a guy who usually starts a little slow, and even though he tries to just bring up that pace in the beginning, they have a normal flow. They like to look, you know, look at what their opponent's doing, and you've got to step on the gas sometimes in the beginning.
Right now, Nemkov has thrown 50 punches. Davis 27. Davis has landed only 4 punches. Nemkov 17 here in the final seconds of the first round.
Nice body kick by Phil.
But a good start by the Bellator MMA light heavyweight champion, Vadim Nemkov, in his maiden voyage as the man with the gold. Slips and falls as we come to the end of the first.
Break. Good job, John.
Well, coming up on Friday, May 7th, Juan the Spaniard.
All right, second round, gentlemen. Let's go. Fight.
Round number 2 scheduled for 5 in the Bellator MMA Light Heavyweight World Grand Prix quarterfinals. What did you think of the advice cooked up by Phil Davis' corner in between rounds, John?
I didn't quite agree with it right now because he's saying they're basically telling Phil he's having a hard time finding you. No, that's just not true. You take a look at the punch stats, you look at what happened. I would say that Vadim is way ahead as far as landed shots.
Davis blocked
right
that
hand by Davis.
high kick and then lands the right hand. So Davis definitely a more aggressive start here in the second round, getting busier with his feet. And there's a counter right hand over the top by Nemkov.
What you just saw out of Phil, that's a left.
Oh, a cut around the left eye of the champion Nemkov. I don't know if that was a punch or clash of heads.
Phil likes to take a big step off to his left with his left and throw that lunging right, but he throws it flat. He doesn't overhand it. He likes to throw it flat. That might be what actually cut Nemkov.
As of now, the blood just trickling down the side of the champion's face. It's not inhibiting his view, it appears. Coming up on a minute and a half gone in the second stanza. And again, a lot of feinting, but not a lot of leather being thrown. There's a 1-2 combination that lands for Nemkov. And the kick by Davis.
Phil Davis getting a little bit more aggressive, but still trying to be careful with what's going on. Again, he landed that big right hand. That was the cause of the cut. But since that point, it's kind of held back a little bit. Hasn't thrown as much. Just need to see a little more output.
The main event of Bellator 257 for the Bellator Light Heavyweight Championship in this, the Light Heavyweight World Grand Prix. Mauro Ranallo, Big John McCarthy, cage side. We are joined by Jen Brown, Josh Thompson, and Ryan Bader at the fight desk.
Nice counterattack by Vadim.
Midway point of the second round. Inside leg kick lands for Davis.
That jab has found a home repeatedly for Nemkov. Phil needs to just get his head off that center line.
Jab lands again. This time he drops Davis. Nemkov pouncing on Phil Davis, who got dropped by that combination. Davis now looking for the takedown. Picking up the single leg, wants to run that pike, but it's being defended here by Nemkov.
He's not just trying to wrestle, he's trying to close that gap and stop what Nemkov is able to do in hurting him at this point. He took a big shot. He needs to have this type of clinch to get his wits back in place so he can continue in the fight.
As Big John mentioned earlier, Phil Davis has never been stopped. This is his 29th professional fight as a mixed martial artist. A minute and a half left in the second. Davis trying to take Nemkov down here in round two and proving to be very difficult as Nemkov's looking for the guillotine.
He's got that in place. Nice job by Phil backing out, but you could tell it was tight by the way that Phil reacted.
Again, Nemkov launching the right hand. Final minute of the second. Been a strong round for the champion, including a knockdown of the challenger, Phil Davis.
Really, we've seen a repeat of the first fight, but a little bit better performance by Nemkov in this 2 rounds than we saw in the first 2 rounds. He is up to his game.
And he is sticking to the striking. And remember, surprised some with that high amplitude takedown of Phil Davis in the first fight. 30 seconds left in the second.
30 seconds.
Wow, both guys swinging on right there.
Swing and a miss. 15 seconds left, and again, Davis loading up, looking, fighting for the takedown. Nemkov with the knee up the middle as we come to the end of round 2. Great round for the champion, Nemkov.
Good job. Good job.